Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from Eduard. It's actually a limited edition kit which is made in 1/48 scale, and it might be interesting for some fans of this unusual aircraft because it's not that, I would say, often made in 1/48 scale. That's why Eduard decided to release it again in form of limited edition, and as you can see, it's a Lysander in 1/48 scale. And here we have a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So first of all, box size is typical for such kits from Eduard. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite interesting box art here. And then on the side you can see 7 marking options which are included into this kit. This is limited edition, that's why we get more than usual, and definitely these are quite colorful for British aircraft, so I'm sure you'll find something suitable for your project. And on the opposite side we can see list of the features, so again 7 marking options. There is also P and masks included, and also Resin guns, keys and bombs are inside, which is quite surprising. And as you can see, it's written that we have British and Finnish marking options included. So let's open it. It's a top opening box. Okay, so what do we have here is several plastic sprues which are packed into separate plastic bags. Actually, gray plastic sprues are packed into one. Then here we have also resin parts, but we will start with plastic and then gradually we will move on to various bonuses which are included here. And meanwhile, let me remind you that you can support us financially. It is quite easy thing to do because we have special support button on our website, and of course you decide how much you will get because it's done via PayPal. And all this money will be used in order to improve quality of photo and video reviews, and you can notice it, I mean, the whole progress of our video and photo reviews. We are constantly improving with your help, and I really appreciate that some of you donate and support our cause, let's say, all these video reviews. So here we have clear plastic sprue. Obviously it is dedicated to canopy parts, and as I said, masks should be included. It is a traditional feature for limited editions from Eduard, that's why you shouldn't be worried about covering all these clear areas. And molding quality seems to be fine, so I don't think you'll find any issue or encounter any issue with these parts. Next we have gray plastic sprues which are packed into one plastic bag, as I said before, so just give me a second to open it and we will take a closer look at these parts. Okay, it's a bit of really sticky plastic bag, but I'll overcome this challenge. And we are going to start with this plastic sprue. So here we have external fuel tank, if I'm not wrong, and also we have some internal elements as well. Molding quality seems to be fine, and if we flip it over, here inside we do not have any guiding elements, surprisingly, so these two halves will have to be combined together with due care, because otherwise you might end up with not that nice seam in the middle. The same can be said about Fuselage Halves, which I will show in a second. So here we have next plastic sprue, and here we have Fuselage Halves which are molded together with tail, fin and rudder, and external detailing seems to be really nice. I mean, with some careful painting and weathering you will be able to bring out all these features. We have recessed panel lines and riveting, and also quite nice imitation of the fabric surface here. We also have these internal structures which are replicated with help of separate parts. Of course, landing gear gondolas and separate cooling parts which will have to be combined together. But once we flip it over, here you can notice that we do not have any guiding elements for such big fuselage halves, and we also have some minor interior detailing which I will show in a second. Here you can see it. So again, it might be worth bringing it out with help of weathering, with help of shading maybe, or maybe with washes, because it will be visible through the large canopy. And here you can take a look on the opposite side of the other parts. And also another tricky thing is this landing gear fairings. They might be a bit tricky to combine together because of their angled shape, so be ready for such small change, let's say. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to engine parts, and also here we have landing gear wheels and wings from both sides. Each side of the wing should be glued out of decals. This is quite funny that engine, I would say, block is separated into separate parts. Here we have also instrument panel, separate propeller blades, and some parts for the pilot seat. Again, you can see that there is no flash even on the smallest parts, so it should be relatively straightforward assembly process, and you won't have any problems with that. What I'm checking at the moment is that here inside this wing halves we do not have any guiding elements again. So again, you have to be extra careful with these things. And last but not the least is this plastic sprue. So here we have again two wing halves. We have also some parts for the front cowling. This, for example, front ring is molded as a single piece, which is really cool because you won't have any seams in such visible area. And also there are some engine parts. As you can see, propeller hub is slightly bent and I'm afraid of breaking it off. But here you can see also wing struts. And of course, again, we do not have any guiding elements on the opposite side, not even in the tail wings. But there are some molding pins which we will have to delete somehow with sharp knife. It's not such a difficult task, but don't forget about it, because otherwise you'll end up with problematic fitment of these parts together. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag with resin parts, so just give me a second to get them outside. So first of all, we have several bombs here on 3 resin bases. Just give me a second to get rid of the resin flash. I hate it when it stays on the table. So here we have resin bombs. So let's zoom in. I will show you both sides because we have 3 sets of them. So these are molded as one-piece parts. As you can see, they are not that huge, and I will bring them closer. I hope camera will focus on them. Yeah, now you should be able to see it. So these are really tiny parts, but I think their separation won't be a really difficult process because, as you can see, attachment points are really thin, and final result should look good on your model. Definitely better than plastic. Next, we go on with some of engine parts and also machine gun, which are also molded out of resin. And again, I think it's better to show it on my palm, because this way you will be able to check what is actually molded in close. So machine gun looks really nice. It's a matter of careful painting, and you have a convincing result in 1/48 scale. Next, we go on with another part, and frankly speaking, I'm not even sure where it will go. So we will have to check the assembly manual. Maybe it's a tail landing gear leg, maybe something else. So here you can see it, camera finally focused on them. But casting quality is really nice. It's a typical resin from Eduard, so no worries. Here we have also spare ammo for machine gun. Okay. And also we have skis, which are molded as one-piece parts. Here you can take a look at both sides, because there are 2 skis obviously, and they're really thin, so that's a feature which you can't copy in plastic really. So that's why it was decided to replicate them out of resin, and it's really impressive, I would say, piece of modeling art. And that's why I would recommend to be careful with such thin parts, because it's really easy to break them and then you end up with damaged resin pieces. Okay, next we have another plastic bag. I'm opening it at the moment. Here we have unpainted PE thread, which will be handy both for internal and external detailing. Here you can see it, so it's a typical Eduard product. And some parts are really tiny. Here you can see comparison with my fingertips, so keep it in mind. And there are also some parts which will require bending, so it's worth getting some special tools for PE parts, especially if you want to get a nice result, or maybe get several. Just give me a second. Okay, just get several tweezers and you will get approximately the same result in my opinion. Next we go on with pre-painted PE thread with some interior parts. As you can see, we have dials interpretation here, and also there is unpainted PE thread in small size. I'm not sure where it will be used, but it is given together in the same bag with this pre-painted PE thread. And one more bonus is the mask sheet. So mask sheet is supplied in separate plastic bag, and here we have various masks for the canopy and for landing gear as far as I can guess, but we will see in assembly manual what is actually covered with these masks. And next, on the bottom of the box, we have Decals sheets. So just give me a sec. I'm not even sure why we have two Decals sheets. So let's open the first plastic bag and then we'll move on to the second one. So the first one is actually the biggest one in this kit, and it carries all necessary symbols for 7 marking options. It is printed in Eduard, of course. So just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, here. So it's quite large Decals sheet, as you can see, and here we have plenty of various symbols, and I mean 7 marking options require such amount of symbols. It's really surprising that they actually fit on one Decals sheet. Here we have also decals for instrument panel, but that's pretty much all. There are no seat belts, obviously, and I would recommend to use PE parts instead, because using decals while you have PE parts in the same package is a really strange thing to do. And next we have another small plastic bag with decals, as I said, so just give me a moment to open it. It is also printed in Eduard, but I'm not sure why it houses swastika as well, even though it was included on the first decals sheet. Maybe it's a correction of the symbols which we have on the first sheet, who knows, but here it is. And as you can see, they're made as a, let's say, one-piece symbol, so you won't have to combine separate segments as it was on the first decal sheet. Maybe that's also the difference, who knows. But in a second we will check the assembly manual. So it is printed in form of this small brochure. Let's zoom out. Of course it is printed in color, and I mean cover is approximately the same as what we saw on the box art. Here you can see also parts map and also paints chart here, masks application guide here. So as you can see, masks will cover landing gear, wheels and canopy parts. Assembly process starts with cockpit, then we continue with assembling the floor panel and also rudder pedals. Here we continue with another seat for co-pilot, let's say. The cockpit walls gets assembled on the next step, then we combine all this stuff together. Of course, you assemble the engine out of these separate parts, and it will employ PE elements as well, so be ready for this. Here on the front cowling section, don't forget to cut off these small bits which are not needed in the today's versions. Next, we continue with combining cowling together with engine, then you install propeller, which is assembled out of several pieces, and there is no assembly jig, so be careful with alignment of these blades. Next, we continue with installation of machine gun, and here we have two options depending on the marking you choose, so be careful. And the same goes here, so as you can see, there are several assembly options depending on the camouflage. Next, we continue with canopy parts and leather, which will be placed on the side. Then you assemble wing and install bombs. Here you assemble landing gear, wheels and fairings. Next, we assemble fuel tank and also install various rigging parts as far as you can see. And next thing is the marking options. So here we have first aircraft from 26 Squadron during 1940-1941. Here we have Finnish aircraft from January 1943, and as you can see, it is on skis. Next, we continue with another aircraft from Burma, June 1945. One more comes from United Kingdom, 1942. Here we have one more, United Kingdom 1944. Then we go on with Finland, February 1942. And again we have skis on the wheels. And here we have another Finnish aircraft from September 1943. So 7 marking options in total. And as I said, this kit should be already available. You can get it on official Eduard website. So if you would like to buy it, just go there and order it. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for watching today and bye!